Well, hello, welcome to Ask Me Anything. This is where we ask you to send us your questions via the BBC Sport website, and we have our panel of experts here to answer your queries. Andy Zaltzman, the Test match special scorer and statistician, Deep Dasgupta, former Indian wicketkeeper, and former England captain, Sir Alistair Cook. Zaltz, this first one is for you. It comes from Rajesh Ranjan in West Sussex, who says,
Rajesh.
Who is the greatest all-rounder based on performances in Test cricket in England? What have you got?
Right, well, that's quite hard to narrow down from the, what now, we started in 1880, so 145 years worth of Test cricket. Depends how statistical you want to get about it. Stats don't generally tell the full tale of all-rounders, but I've got a few candidates for you. Well, let's start with Ben Stokes. He averages 39 with the bat in Tests in England, 29 with the ball. Since the start of the 2019 Ashes in 30 Tests at home, 47 with the bat and 26 with the ball. I'm going to throw a curious name in here. If we're not looking at entire careers, Stuart Broad at the start of his career, his first 25 home tests, and I don't know if you'll be able to believe this, Cookie, he averaged 38 with the bat and just under 27 with the ball. Tailed off, certainly with the bat after that, got better with the ball. Looking at overseas players, Imran Khan averaged 35 with the bat, 24 with the ball in England, but only played 12 tests here. For my top overseas all-rounder, you can look no further than Garfield Sobers, pretty much a one-man candidate for the most entertaining cricketer of all time. In 1966, over 700 runs, average over 100 with the bat, 20 wickets at 27 with the ball and 10 catches. A phenomenal player, particularly through the 1960s, through his peak. Jacques Kallis, 35 with the bat, didn't succeed with the bat as much in England as he did elsewhere, so I'm writing him out of the equation. Freddie Flintoff, 35 with about 36 with the ball, but let's look at peak Flintoff, 2004, 2005, 1,000 runs at 50 with the bat, 57 wickets at 24 for those 2 years. He was phenomenal. But my winner is Ian Botham, and we're not looking at Ian Botham over the course of his entire career. We are looking at peak Botham, one of the most phenomenal sports people of all time. His first 27 home tests in England. He up to the end of the India series in '82, averaged 40 with the bat with 700s, 22 with the ball, with 12 5-wicket hauls. And if you take out his tests as captain, in that time he averaged 56 with the bat and 20 with the ball, with over 5 wickets per test. He was absolutely phenomenal.
Zaltz, that was phenomenal. Cookie and Deep follow that. Right, I'm giving you one which is a little less technical to start with. So consider this as a bit of a starter for 10, a warm-up for you both. So this is from Rich in Bath, who says, hello, what do the England cricket team, and I'm going to just add in India as well here, Deep, what do the England cricket team eat at lunch and tea? He says, presumably not the post-cricket sausage rolls and chips I used to have.
Well, not quite, but actually at the end of the game there are a lot of pizzas, chicken wings floating around, because actually when you finish the day, when you finish the day, it's all about getting stuff back into your body. But yeah, at lunch will be very much kind of to your needs. If I'm out, you can eat what you want, can't you? You're just going to sit there the rest of the day. But it'd be very healthy, it'd be very boring, plain chicken, pasta, rice, sauce, and vegetables, not much more. A lot of the bowlers now on those protein shakes if they're mid-spells with, during the day, because you're heavy, don't really want to run in and bowl with a heavy load. So unfortunately, the glamour of a big spread tea like you used to get in club cricket, that's gone.
The Indian team does travel with a cook. At some places, Indian team does travel with a cook. Individuals travel with their own cook. But things have obviously, with the Indian team, has changed over the years. If you look at the Indian diet, there's a lot of carbs involved, a lot of fried stuff involved in Indian food. So that's something that has changed in the last few years. You're starting to look more at nutrition and protein, and as Cookie mentioned about protein shakes and all of that. Plus also try and be a little sensible about not having fried and all of that.
Charlie in Bristol says, is a batter getting in statistically supported? Does the percentage chance of the next ball getting them out fall as the number of balls faced rises? And if you're on 99, does the next ball have a higher than expected chance of getting them out?
Right. Thanks for that. Thanks for that question. The short answers are yes to question 1 and no to question 2 about 99. But anyway, I've made you a special spreadsheet because that's the kind of guy I am. Actually, I haven't made you a special spreadsheet. I already have the special spreadsheet because that's the kind of guy I am. But looking at, rather than balls, 10-run blocks. players beginning their innings, 38% of them are out before they reach 10. Players reaching 10, 27%, and then in each 10-run block, it keeps going down, 24, 22, 21, 21, 21, 20, and then in the 90s, 18% of players who get to 90 are out before they reach 100, and that's the lowest dismissal likelihood of any 10-run block below the 150. So actually, the nervous 90s, I mean, players may get nervous, but it actually works in a positive way. Did you get nervous in the 90s?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I got 5 or 6 90s, so... Yeah. Because you just want 100. You're judged on hundreds, unfortunately, and it's just that little milestone. It's mad. 96 to 100 is only 4 runs, but mentally it's a lot.
Players are much more likely to get out from 100 to 109 than 90 to 99, and even more from 200 to 209 compared with 190 to 199. So you see players reach that milestone and then relax and make a mistake.
Now, this is from Ian in South Gloucestershire, and this is good, we've got both of you here. How do the wicket-keeper and the slip cordon know how far back to position themselves at the start of an innings? So do you want to take that deep as a wicket-keeper? Does wicket-keeper take charge?
Exactly, because keepers, they start the whole process. So thumb rule is wherever you're collecting in, around that knee region, that's the distance from the stumps. You're collecting around knee to waist, that's where you want to be. And then where the slip comes in, because you practice a lot, and then you kind of, you know who your first slipper is, who your second slipper is, and then you have that adjustment based on that and relationship. You know how much the first slip can cover towards the left and right, and you know how much you can. So you have that, you know, understanding between the first and the second slipper and the keeper. But it gets a little tricky if the bounce is variable. And that's where I think it gets tricky. For example, here, there are balls which does not carry to the keeper, and that's where you've got to decide whether you want to get in a little closer, but that would mean less reaction time as a keeper then. Then what you do is you ask the first slip to get a little finer. So you tell them, you know what, I'm going to get closer for those feathers and fine nicks. They shouldn't drop in front of me. But make sure you're closer to me, that gap is closer, so less reaction time. And the other way around, if you're back in Australia and all, where there's a lot of carry, that first slip can be almost 1.5, 2 slip, because you have enough time and reaction time to do that.
Ultimately, as a guest to start with, that first ball, you are guessing. You know how fast that ball is going to be, whether it's James Anderson, Stuart Broad. You know the rough feel, but you watch the first ball of a test match, the keeper will take it, and if he takes it behind his ankles, everyone will take a step back. If it trams through and the keeper takes it here, everyone will just slide back a little bit. And you do see a lot of adjustment during the game.
David in Croydon says, what are the rules and/or etiquettes regarding a batter having a runner? He says, with Rishabh Pant struggling to run even a slow single, why doesn't he have a runner? Any thoughts? Well, first of all, it would be breaking the laws, because runners disappeared from international cricket from 2011. So that's why Rishabh Pant wasn't allowed to have a run. It was outlawed, but do you think it should have been outlawed, Alistair?
I do. I do think it should be outlawed. I'm a big one on rules. If there is runners in place, there's so many occasions where it gets kind of used on a tactical advantage.
But it's always chaos, isn't it? It never seems advantageous when there's a runner.
I was involved once with Ronnie Irani. I was running for him, and I was at square leg, and he hit a shot, and he started running. Then he realised he wasn't allowed to run, so he then dived full. He was injured, then dived full length to still run off. So I was walking off with him. He was covered in dust and everything, and he's quite an angry fella when he got out. So I was trying to staying a long way away. But look, if someone it was because of cramp, wasn't it? There was a batsman with cramp.
Champions Trophy 2009 against England, wasn't it? Yeah, Andrew Strauss didn't want Graham Smith to have a runner because he was cramping. He didn't think that was
it was a big and because actually part of cramp is physical preparation. So actually he was benefiting to the fact that. So I just think it's so clear now. So when things are clear for sides, I think it's better.
As a batter, you don't know who to look at. You're looking at the batter, you look at the runner, who you're looking at, because generally the runner's near the leg umpire or the square leg umpire. And then it is chaotic. But also, us cricketers are blamed for that rule, because it's been misused so many times, that runner rule. So now that you don't have it, you don't miss it that much. I mean, very rarely like this incident, but otherwise you really don't miss it as much.